This is the 2025 Nissan Frontier Pro-X. Is it a great mid-size truck option? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Orr Nissan in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm going to give you the particulars on this Frontier. If you want to know more about it, check out the link down in the description of the video. And if you haven't looked at the Frontier in the last few months since the 2025 version came out, you're going to immediately notice some changes here on the front end. The grille has a new look to it, at least as far as the Frontier goes. Now, it's going to look consistent with other models in the Nissan lineup. That's the idea of what was going on here. As far as that change goes, the truck has been refreshed, a little bit on the outside, a little bit on the inside. We're going to have our LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. And we'll have our lights right here, just something a little different. Also, the fog lights, and I know from a lot of your comments on other videos that I've made on other vehicles that is something you are interested in. We'll have the recovery hooks. You have to look low down here, get kind of low to see, but they are here on the front end on both sides, as you can see right there. And you'll find this truck being two-wheel drive. It's going to have the 17-inch wheels. What do you think about the finish on these wheels? I like that it's not gloss black. This gray finish actually works quite well. More of a matte finish than a gloss finish. That means it's going to hold up when you're out driving, no matter where you may be. You won't be able to get to see the scratches as easily as you would with a gloss finish. Now, we will find the manually folding side view mirrors. The only other thing missing besides being power folding is that they don't have the turn signal indicators built in, but you will find that they are power adjustable, they're heated, and you have your blind spot monitoring built in, as you can see right there. Here is your remote start, lock, unlock, and your panic button right there. A nice light compact remote, easy to deal with, and when you come up to the truck, you can lock and unlock the doors with the button here on the driver's side or the passenger side. Now in this case, you do have the assist steps right here. I don't really think that's necessary. Maybe for some people it is, but depending on where you're going to be driving, especially if you're going to be off-road a little bit, well, you may not want to have those on there. Your Pro-X logo right here on the bed, and we'll finish things off with the taillights and a nice looking tailgate. The Nissan logo, the Pro-X logo, and the Frontier logo is stamped into the rear. As you can see here on the tailgate is nicely dampened. You will find the bed liner here and 4 tie-down points. You will also find the rear sliding rear window right here. Now that is manually sliding. It's not going to be power, but I don't think that's going to make a big difference for most people. Under the hood is the 3.8-liter naturally aspirated V6 that puts out a plentiful 310 horsepower and 261 pounds-feet of torque mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. You can see that this truck is a two-wheel drive truck, and as far as your MPGs go, we're looking at 19 city, 24 highway, 21 combined, 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. The gas tank size is 21.1 gallons on this truck, and here are some numbers that might surprise a few people. On a single tank of gas in the city, you should be able to drive about 399 miles. On a full tank of gas out on the highway, you should be able to drive about 504 miles. Max towing comes in at 6,910 pounds. Max payload for this truck is going to be 1,430 pounds. Let's talk about what your rear seat passengers are going to find. The armrest is comfortable, although I do wish this area was flat as opposed to having an incline built into it. Just seems that it would be a little more comfortable that way, to be flat all the way. You'll find a door bin with a bottle holder built in, and there is a reasonable amount of space here in the rear. I'm gonna sit back here. Could there be a little more space? Sure, there could be, but you know what? It would work for just driving around town, that's for sure. The only thing I would like to see change back here would be a little bit more recline built into these back seats, or maybe some kind of adjustability. That's a little bit harder to deal with as far as the configuration back here goes, but it would be nice to see something to help out with that and make rear seat passengers a little more comfortable. And there is how you open and close the sliding rear window. Now this model does not have a sunroof. Tell me what your thoughts are where that is concerned. How important is a sunroof? to you when it comes to buying your next vehicle. The driver and passenger seats are both power adjustable on this trim level, with one notable difference. On the driver's side, you have one additional control. This switch controls lumbar support, and when you drop the release right here, you can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. The sticker price on this truck is $43,300. Let's see what else you get for that price. Now you'll notice the orange contrast throughout the interior, not only with what we have on the doors, that's also going to be on the center console in this area. You'll also find the orange contrast stitching throughout, and the Frontier logo will also be in orange. We're going to find our sunglass holder right here with our upper console. And then over here on the driver's side door, controls for your power side view mirrors. You can lock and unlock the doors, unlock and unlock the windows. And then you can control your windows right here. Now you only have one touch down and one touch up as far as the driver's window goes. The others, you'll have to hold the buttons down to lower and raise those. And we'll find everything here for managing our headlights. You can leave that on auto. You can also turn your fog lights on and off right there. Your windshield wipers controlled here. And you can see your steering wheel mounted controls on the steering wheel. The 7-inch driver's display, pretty easy to deal with. Not a lot going on where that is concerned, but depending on what you need to do or see, you can go through a lot of different information. And we'll just go through a few things here just to show you what's going on as far as what the availability is. And obviously, if you want your digital speedometer, you can leave that up. But you'll also find the analog speedometer and tachometer right here. Comfortable steering wheel. The big change here in the interior overall would be the 12.3-inch touchscreen. You can see that you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone, and then we can go through our different options and see what else is here as far as that goes. Now, there's not a ton here to talk about, but you do have a pretty simple system, but it does have some good information and details as far as different things you can go through. You do have a 6-speaker audio system here. When you go into reverse, you'll get your backup camera. You can see your trajectory lines right there. Controls for turning the radio on and off and the volume right there. You can go through your stations. There's your hazard lights button. And dual zone climate control. You can see right here with the driver and passenger sides. We'll also find a 12-volt power outlet and a couple of USB ports. Here's your shifter. Easy to figure out what's going on there. For those of you that don't like a push-button shifter, maybe you're thinking about the Honda Ridgeline and you're saying that push-button shifter doesn't work for me. Well, you don't have to worry about that here. That's for sure. And nobody's going to say the Frontier is not really a truck, are they? Cup holders, a little bit of space in front of the center console, and the center console lid can be used as an armrest, and there is the space that you have within the center console itself. And 2 points of interest I did not mention earlier when we sat in the back seat is, number one, the lack of air conditioning vents, but you do have a couple of USB options for your rear seat passengers. We'll also find our fold-down armrest right here with the cup holders built in. My favorite design, because the armrest real estate right here on each side of the cup holders is always available, whether or not there are cups or bottles here in this area. For those of you who want to hear a sampling of the audio, hopefully my microphone does it justice. I don't know if it sounds as good to those of you listening as it does in person, but believe it or not, the 6-speaker audio system from Nissan actually sounds pretty good. And here's a little tip for you. I told you that we have our dual zone climate control here in the driver's compartment, but you might notice there's no button that says sync. So you're saying, you know what, Tom, I'm surprised you can't sync both sides together. Well, you can. Notice the button right here that says dual. So what I'm going to do is push that, and you'll notice that both sides now sync together. Not sure why they don't have a sync button, why it says dual on it, but you know what? That's how it works, in case you were wondering. All right, let's get out on the road for a quick test drive with the Frontier. Now, if you're looking for the smoothest riding mid-size truck, this definitely isn't it. And I don't want it to sound like it's terrible, but yeah, you're going to notice a few bumps driving down the road. If you're looking for a little more horsepower, this is definitely something to consider. Not the most powerful mid-size truck on the market, but I think you get enough to get down the road and have no trouble. You've got the new technology here with the 12.3-inch screen. It works really well. It's somewhat simplified. There's not a lot to deal with there. I like that it's a decent sized screen, but you're not looking through a bunch of sub menus to get to one little thing that takes quite a while to get to. It's pretty easy to figure out what you need to do and how to get to it. Not complicated. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, something that should please everybody as far as pairing your smartphone and taking advantage of those apps. And easy to see out of. That's a nice thing about a truck like this. You don't have to worry about that, but you also have blind spot monitoring built into the side view mirrors that's going to help where that is concerned too. Now, have a little bit of a turning radius test here. Maybe not the best, but not terrible. We did make the turn right there decently, but depending on your needs and how tight your confines are, you might have to consider your turning radius where these vehicles are concerned. Now, that's why I say a lot of the time it's very important that while we try and show as much as we can in these videos on YouTube, you really need to drive these vehicles for yourself. And why do I say that? Well, you're going to know what works for you and what doesn't, based on your needs, based on your experience. And while I can pass on to you my experience of driving something like this, it may not necessarily give you the information you're looking for. You really need that hands-on experience to take care of that. But I'll do the best I can, obviously, to pass that along to you. Now, this truck does have a good bit of space in the back seat, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, the fact that the seats are really somewhat upright as far as the seat backs go, the front seat definitely going to be a lot more comfortable than the rear because you can adjust the seat backs on these seats. That's one thing that I would like to see changed. Not that you have any mid-sized trucks out there on the market that allow for changing the recline or the angle of the seat backs in the back seat, but that would be nice to have something that helps out as far as making the ride quality a little bit better, giving a little more headroom. That's something else where that would help. But overall, I'd say the Frontier is a good truck. It will definitely get the job done for you as far as your towing goes. In most situations where you would need a mid-size truck and not need a full-size truck or an HD or something like that. But it definitely handles the functionality of a daily driver, of a pickup truck, and of the family hauler, as long as you don't have a Brady Bunch style or size family. And there it is, the 2025 Nissan Frontier Pro-X. Is it a great mid-size truck option? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. While it is definitely a great mid-size truck option, the real question is it a great option for you based on what it is you do or maybe don't want in your mid-size truck? Tell me down in the comments section. I'm curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Or Nissan. If you want to know more about this truck, remember to check out the link in the description of the video. I'd like to thank all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would, please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.